Hey everyone, so today we have another amazing guest. Her name is Marita Lam. She's amazing. She's someone I've met in India through a volunteering program that I was hosting at my college. We instantly connected, and she's someone who has been traveling all her life. She does international volunteering, gives back to the society, and influences the life of so many people. Marita is from Peru. She's been volunteering for, I think, say more than 15 years now. And it's been so inspiring to hear so many stories from her. But let's begin and learn everything that we can about volunteering from Marita. Hi, Marita. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Balak. Thank you for having me, actually. Thank you so much.
How's everything at home?
Everything at home is great now that the pandemic is almost over.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah, everything is going back to normal. So, yeah, we're happy over here.
That's amazing. So, how did you get into volunteering, Marita? And like, what purpose did you find behind it? Like, because you've been pursuing it for really long now. Uh,
Volunteering for me is, I started with the school, like with the school programs that they took us volunteering when I was like 15 or maybe less. They took us to give some classes, math classes, and to play with kids. And then something I think just clicked in me, and I've never stopped doing it. Actually, uh, in Peru I've done many volunteering programs, teaching, especially teaching math, which is really funny because it actually also I also did that in India, but. It's amazing when you can just give something to someone that needs it, and because you always get something back from it. It's you learn a lot, you experience a lot, and to me that's like amazing. That's what I love doing most.
that's incredible. So, also in volunteering, like people have this misconception that you're not able to, sustain a livelihood with it, like making money and taking it as a whole-time profession. Is that really possible? And like, how does one go about this journey? Like, make volunteering your one main profession or source of livelihood?
It depends actually, because there are different types of volunteering. There are many types of volunteering. There's volunteering where you can go and exchange volunteering for some payment or household, or sometimes where you go, there are different types of volunteering. You can teach, and maybe people will give you accommodation and give you food, and so you can only cost your tickets. Or sometimes if you work in a farm, because there are so many different types of volunteering, you can go and work in a farm and they will pay you, and you can also travel, and it won't be like a lot of money, but it will be enough so that you can live and travel and know some places, different people that many people will never think of. And there are all these amazing programs. There are like a lot of web pages where you can see. Now with the pandemic, everything is stopped, but now everything is reactivating, and there are so many hostels that need receptionists, that need people helping with food, cleaning, and in different parts of the world. There's volunteering all over the world. So, and there are so many different types. You can work in farms, you can work in hostels, you can teach at schools, in monasteries. So it's amazing. There's such a huge variety of places, and
I
yeah.
think from what I can get is that any person who loves to travel, loves to interact with different cultures, and get a taste of the world, and as an explorer, can definitely take up volunteering, because there you can also traveling, experiencing many new different things, and like closely you get to interact with the various people, common people, how they live in their country, how they go about with their everyday livelihood, and also like you get to live with a purpose where you're actually like spending time doing something worthwhile. So for travelers, for people who love traveling and exploring, I think this is something they can really take up. um,
Yes, especially because you go so there are different programs. You can contact them before going, and you can see the reviews and everything so that you are safe. Uh, we as women, especially, uh, need to be safe when we travel. So this is a very nice way to know the culture. It's not when you travel and only go to visit or to sightsee different places, but you're going to some places that you experience how people live, what do they eat, how do they talk, and it's completely different. It really changes your life. To me at least. I always wanted to go to India, and I wanted to experience this, like how was the life, especially because it's so far away from where I live, and I don't speak Hindi, where I didn't. Now I know some words, but before going, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anyone, and going to do a volunteer program, and I spent 3 months there, and it changed my life forever. So I'm really glad I could do this, and I'm really glad I could like have this opportunity to go experience and just live there, which is something that I really wanted, and that maybe I couldn't have done it otherwise.
That's incredible. Actually, that was going to be my next question that, have you been to India and how has it been volunteering in India? And what would you say about the volunteering culture here? Because people my age and my generation mostly are not even aware of the opportunities that are available. Very few people are into volunteering as such, because we have online volunteering, we also have offline volunteering. Sometimes you can do it part time also as a side hustle. You don't have to full time take it as a profession, and people think that volunteering will take up way too much time and years. So what about the volunteering culture in India, and any special experiences that you can share with us?
Oh, so many. I really loved going to India, and it's something happened because I wanted to work like with women programs. Like I'm an economist, and I really wanted to work with financial or microfinances with women. That's something that I was really looking forward to. But when I arrived, that wasn't possible, and I ended up working in this with this NGO that has a house for kids that are rescued from child labor. And I've worked with kids before, but um, it was not what I was expecting. So in the beginning, I was like a little, I won't say disappointed, but I was like, okay, let's see how I can help, because I thought like my experience would help more like in some other way. But when I started working with them and I was teaching them English and math, and then some new volunteers came, and volunteers from India, so it was easier to communicate with the kids, and so many things changed in my life. The kids are so generous, so open, so full of life, so amazing, and they have such kind hearts. And whenever people say like, oh, you're so good, or you're such a good person because you're going to help them, I don't think the impact that maybe we have as volunteers in their lives is as big as the impact they have on our lives, on teaching us a different way to see life, with a more open heart, with this size of kids that are just amazing. And I will be forever grateful. And that even things were not as planned. But I think in India, especially, I was very surprised, because in Peru, in my country, it doesn't happen that you have like a requirement when you're studying a master's degree or when you're at the university to do some volunteering. that in my country doesn't happen. It's not something everybody has to do. But I think it's really important that people do it, that spend some time of their time working in helping some other people in any way they can. If it's sharing food, if it's teaching, if it's whatever your abilities are, maybe helping with finances or with legal advice to NGOs. Um, there are so many professionals that can help, or maybe even like people that study nutrition, how they can make foods that are more like nutritious for kids with low budgets. There are so many ways to help in so many different aspects. So whenever I think somebody thinks like maybe I want to do or make a difference, I think it's really important to rethink that or to change that mindset, because we can always help. And what it's more, I don't know how to put this, but it's really nice because you always get something back. Whenever you give, you always get like so many such incredible experiences. For me, like meeting so many amazing people, like talking to you right now, it's such a wonderful thing that otherwise would have never happened. Like I'm on the other side of the world right now, so it's, to me it's amazing.
That's true. And it's like exchange of cultures, and it's just how beautiful that humans connect through their heart, and irrespective of language barriers and culture barriers and where we're born, how we're born. And it's very heartwarming to hear that your journey in India has been so special, and you really have some fond memories from India, and I'm very overwhelmed to hear that. Also, did you work with NGOs in Rajasthan only, or you were traveling to other states in India? Like, where all did you go to in India?
I spent 2 months in Jaipur and I was 1 month in Dharamshala, also teaching in a school for kids. I work with kids all the time, which is funny because I it was not what I was supposed to do, but then it changed and it was great. But maybe that's something that some maybe that's something that could improve, like to know beforehand what you're going to do or how is it going to be the place where you're going to work, so that you can also prepare your mindset or activities or things that maybe you can do whenever you get to the place. But otherwise, I had an amazing experience, and it's funny because it's normally what I do volunteering back at home. I also teach and things like that.
That's amazing. I'm sure those kids miss you and would love to have you again very soon back to India. Uh, and Also, one of the last questions that I'd like to put is that today we live in a culture which has turned very online. It's the age of internet, and we're able to access so many things because of internet, living in the comforts of our home, like what we're doing today, right? Has volunteering also moved online? And what are the opportunities that we can find, sitting in our homes and still, volunteer for other people, help? Like online volunteering is something that I feel is upcoming.
I think that with the pandemic, everything has gone online. So, but there's two sides of it for me. That many people who actually really need people to help them with the volunteering do not have access to phones or computers, or so you can help, but at the same time, it's who are you actually helping? Who are going to be the people that benefit from your volunteering? Maybe you can help planning or do some office work. The UN has many opportunities for online volunteering. You can check on their page on the United Nations, and they have so many different programs for different abilities. And but at the same time, maybe it's better to help an organization that is smaller. I was working last year with one organization in Peru that actually has volunteering for teenagers. that are 13, 14, 15, and it helps them with their social abilities. So what we did there is like many of them don't have internet, or we had to talk with their parents, search for one phone maybe so that they could maybe get together in a house and all connect from that space, so that we could give some workshops online. But it's harder, but I think it's maybe a little better, like to do some research and look for maybe small enterprises. And right now there are so many enterprises and so many initiatives from young people trying to help, from young people developing apps and doing so many stuff. And I think it's a very big opportunity to use your talents whatever they are, because there's a lot of people. There's always a room for graphic designers, for developers, for people that are in IT and so many things. So we can always help. And so
You know what
that's
you've
what I've always.
Yeah, you know what you've talked about is very pertinent because, like, when the pandemic happened, many people, children, and even like adults into college were facing this issue where they had no, like no resources to access internet and laptops or proper phones or connectivity, and education took a back step. Like there has to be like proper connectivity, connection, and resources available to people to actually access the benefits of technology, because then technology lags behind. So developing infrastructures and networks where people even in the backward areas, rural areas, can get access to good technology, can only help online volunteering and even like online classes and education. Otherwise, this is a major obstacle in this process, I feel, because we're moving towards everything online, but then what about that strata which is not able to access or even be a part of that group which can get technological benefits? So that's
Yeah,
really important that you pointed out.
that's very important. I think that in countries like ours, that are still developing a lot, and there are so many people that live in the countryside, that live so far away that there is no connectivity, that there's no internet, that there is no phones. I think that's where many, maybe the focus should be, because if we all want to have a better tomorrow, we all have to be better. So we have to concentrate on the people who actually really need it. Mhm.
That's right. Okay, Marita, I won't take too long because our conversation can go on for hours. But whatever we could get on today, it was amazing. And thank you so much for joining in. I'll hope to, like see you soon someday, and maybe visit Peru to meet you. Uh,
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. You're very welcome whenever you want.
okay, Marita, thank you so much for doing this. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.